All right. So our buddies over at freeCodeCamp decided to insert another one of these courses in the middle of this thing, which everybody's already completed. But whatever, let's do it again. Let's do this the first time, whatever. So now we're doing review DOM manipulation by building a rock, paper, scissors game, okay? In the previous projects, we learned how to work with the basic DOM manipulation, okay. Now it's time to review what we've learned by building a rock, paper, scissors game. In this mini project, we're going to review conditionals, functions, getElementById, and more. This project will give us an opportunity to solve small problems and get a better understanding of the basics. All right, so let's start off with one. So we're going to make something like this. We're going to choose rock, paper, or scissors, and it's going to throw us some scores over here, and whoever wins, it's going to say the computer won, play again, and we can just go over and over and over again, right? So the rule is first to 3, and whatever. You know how to play this game. So yeah, let's start off with 1. So the first step is to build out the function that will generate a random choice for the computer. The getRandomComputerResult function will be used to get the computer's choice. Inside that function, we should see an options array with rock, paper, and scissors. Okay, we do right here. Our task is to complete the getRandomComputerResult function so that it returns a random option from the options array. All right, and here are the tips. We can use math.random and math.floor to help us get a random whole number. And this will represent the index number for the options array. And we can use the random index to access the option from the options array. So it's basically telling us what to do. All right, so let's do that. We're going to return options at, and then we'll do a math.random. And remember, if we have 3 choices, we're going to do times 3. Okay, and since we want to round it down, because we know math.random will never be 1, right? It'll always be less than 1, and between 0 and 1, you know how it is. If we round it down, it will be the answer will be either 0, 1, or 2, right? Because anything that's not 1 times 3 is not going to be 3, right? So let's wrap this thing in parentheses, and we'll say math.floor in front of it, okay? So now it's going to give us either a random 0, 1, or 2. Okay, so let's cap this thing off with parentheses, with a semicolon. Cross your fingers, check your code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 2. So in the game, there's going to be multiple rounds. The first to reach 3 points wins the game. In this step, we're going to focus on determining if the player has won the round. We'll complete the hasPlayer1Round function, and this function has 2 parameters, player and computer. The function should return true if the player has won the round, and false if the player has lost or tied the round, okay? So here are the criteria for the player to win the round. If player chooses rock, the computer chooses scissors, we win. Scissors, player scissors, computer paper, we win. Player paper, computer rock, we win, okay? So a few function calls have been provided for us to test the functions. So we got these right here. All right. So for this one, what are we going to do? So we need it to be true if this stuff is true. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to say return, and we're going to say return give me a second. I did do this. I just forgot how to do it just right now. I should have had a cheat sheet, but whatever. So if the player chooses rock and the computer chooses scissors, we win. So if player, okay, so yeah. If player equals triple equals the string rock and computer triple equals scissors, we win, right? And then we'll do an or like this. And let's wrap this thing up in some of these right here. Some, what are those things called? Parentheses. And let's select all of this before the closing parenthesis. Copy that. Let's drop this parenthesis down. And like this. And let's paste it. Let's tab it over 2, 3. And then space 1. Paste it. Let's just do it again. Let's take this, copy it, drop it down. All right, now let's get rid of these parentheses. Come on. And space them over just to get them in line, right? And get rid of this parenthesis too, and get rid of this or operator. Okay, so now let's change this rock to scissors. All right, so let's take scissors and change this rock to that. And also let's change this rock to capital rock. Let's change this scissors to paper. Paper. All right, and let's get this paper. Let's change this rock to that. Let's get this rock here and change this scissors to that. Okay, so now if it's any of these, it's going to give us a true, correct? Of course. So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 3. So now it is time to get the results of the round. We're going to complete the get round results function. If the player wins the round, we're going to update the player score by 1 and return the message, player wins, player choice beats computer's choice. Awesome. And if the other way around, no, pardon me, if it's a tie, we'll say it's a tie, both chose player's choice, okay? And if the computer wins, we'll do this, but the opposite, okay? So computer's choice should be replaced with computer result, while player's choice should be replaced with user option. And here's some tips. We can remember that we can use the has player won the round function to check if the player wins the round. And we can use template literals or regular string concatenation to build the message. All right. So let's do it. What we want to do is return. Let's say return right here. Actually, let's do an if statement. How about that? Let's come down here and do if. So if computer result, if, what is this? Okay, let's look at this. If the player wins, we want to update the player score by 1. We want to do a player score, this thing, plus, and we want to say this. So get random computer results. Okay, so let's pass this in. So if, let's grab this, if has player won round, and let's have the first thing be user option. Okay, the first argument will be user option inside of here. So user option, let's grab this, comma, computer result. Okay, get random computer result. Did we do that already? Yes, we did that already. We're on step 3. Okay, cool. So if that's the case and we won, because if this is true, what we want to do is we want to say we won. The player won. Okay, so let's say player score plus, and then return player wins, player's choice beats computer's choice. Okay, so let's say player, let's do a template literal player wins, and then we'll do an embedded expression. Also, let's wrap, I gotta put the opening parenthesis here. Okay, player wins, embedded expression, and space beats embedded expression. Okay, so beats another embedded expression. Okay, so this one's going to be user option. And this one will be computer results. Okay, no. Yes, okay. And then we'll do, let's make this the else. Let's make this the else if. So let's make this the else if. And let's drop this down. Let's have this here. Let's drop this down. Space this over. Space this over. Well, come on now. Space this over. Space this over. Back it up. Space it over. Okay. And now let's do an if statement here. This is going to be an if in front of this. So we'll say if user option. Let's get this. User option triple equals computer result. Close parenthesis. What we're going to do is return the template literal that says it's a tie both players chose. So it's a tie exclamation point both players chose embedded expression, and that an embedded expression will have user option in it. There we go. All right, else if. All right, so let's tab all three of these over one, and let's back this one up. Come on now. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, so now we're going to do an else. Else, move this over one, back it up, move it over one. All right, else we're going to do this, but we're going to make it computer. So back this up. We'll make a computer score. Computer score, and then we'll change this. We'll get this, put it here, get this, put it here. All right, so that should be good. If they tie, it's a tie. Else, if this is true, we'll do player score plus plus, and say player wins, blah blah blah. Oh, let's turn this to computer also. Computer wins. Computer result beats user option. That should work. Okay, awesome. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 4. So now it's time to update the scores in the round results message. We're going to complete the show results function. The player score span element and computer score span element should be updated to show the updated score of the player and computer. The round result message should also be updated with the result of the round. And here's the tips. We're going to remember that we learned how to work with the inner text property to update the text content of an element. And we can use the getRoundResults function to get the results of that round. All right. So yeah, they gave us these right here. Yeah, they put these here so we can use them. So let's complete the show results function. Show results, we got user option, the player score span element. So that's this here. Player score span element. What is that? To update it to show the updated scores of that. So that's this, right? I'm pretty sure. So, is that it? The round result should also be updated with the player score span element, computer score span element. I literally just did this, but I am so confused already. Whatever. Let's just try. complete the show results function. The round result message. What's the message going to be? Score container options, computer score. What is this? Man, this is a horrible live stream. Anyway, let's try this. Complete the show results function. The player score span element and computer score span element should be updated to show the updated scores of the player and computer. So this and this, right? That's what they're talking about, right? And then the round result message should also be updated with the result of the round. Results message. What are you talking about? All right, let's try it out. So we want to say span now equals player score. Something equals player score. So we'll say player score span element dot inner text now equals this thing, get round results, at user option of this. It's a tie. No. Okay, so that's what that's gonna. So we're gonna say this equals player score. Okay, so we'll say player score. All right, then we'll do this equals computer score equals computer score. All right, and then this equals dot. Oh wait, hold on. We got to do dot inner text. Dot inner text on both of these equals, and then we'll do this thing here, the get round results at user option, like that. All right, so there we go. I'm pretty sure that works, except for look, it didn't update the scores. Check the code. Okay, our show results function should update the player score span element to be player score, right? Wouldn't these I'm gonna have to re-record this. I'm gonna have to re-record this again, because this is not good enough. But whatever, I'm still gonna do this live, but then I'll re-record it tomorrow. What the? Your show results function should update the player score span element. Player score span element dot inner text equals player score. What's wrong with that? Player score. I don't think I spelled it wrong. Computer score. Does this need to be after? All right, let's put this in front of it. Okay. Check it. Looks good. And submit it. Yeah, of course they would. Of course they would say it out of order. Why wouldn't they? Just so we could, you know, why wouldn't they do that? Okay, so now we're on to step 5. If we try to play the game, we will see that we can play for an infinite amount of rounds. But the rules state that the first 1 to 3 points wins. I'm going to have to remember that tomorrow when I re-record this. Inside our show results function, we will need to check if the player or computer has reached 3 points. If either has reached 3 points, we should display a message indicating the winner, okay? So for example, if the players won the game, then the winner message element should be updated to player has won the game. If the computer has won the game, then the winner message element should be computer has won the game, okay? If there is a winner, we will want to show the reset game button and hide the options container so the player can play again. And tips, we can use the l.style.display property to show the reset game button and hide the options container. Okay. So if the score is 3 of either of these, we're going to do one of these. Okay. So let's do that to start with. We'll start with an if statement, if, and we'll say if player score triple equals 3 or computer score triple equals 3. All right. What we're going to do is we want to set the winner message element, which is this right here, dot inner-text to be, and this time we're going to do a template literal, right? We'll have a template literal and we'll say computer or player. Okay, so let's start off with an embedded expression. All right, and then we'll do space has won the game. So space has won the game with an exclamation point. And so inside here, we're going to do a ternary operator. All right, so let's drop this thing down. And the only reason I know to do that because I saw it earlier. I mean, I did this, but I didn't know that dropping it down was going to look so good. So we're going to drop this thing down and we're going to say if player score equals 3. So let's get this. If player score equals 3, question mark, we'll say the string player. Or we'll do the string computer. All right. So depending on if this is true, if it's true, we'll put players won the game. If this is false, we'll do computers won the game. All right. So that's how that's going to work. And if that's also the case, we're going to do these resets on these two things. So let's slap this with it. Let's cap that with a semicolon. All right. And then drop it down. And so we'll do, what is it? Reset game button? Reset game button. And what's the other one? Options container. Let's get them both. Let's hold down Alt and grab this one. Hold down Alt and this one. Drop it off like this. Tab this one over. And we're going to, let's hold down Alt while we're, let's hold down Alt and click this one and Alt and click this one. No. Click this one, then hold down Alt. And we're going to say dot style dot display. Dot style dot display. Now equals. All right. And this top one, what we're going to do, we're going to change this one since we're hiding this one. We're going to say none. We're going to say the display now equals none. And then this one, we're going to say that the display now equals block. And then we'll cap it off with a semicolon for both of these. And that should take care of it. Let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Yeah, I saw this. I mean, I did the same thing, but I saw this style and I was like, that's my style now. That's my style. So now we're on to step 6. If the player or computer has won the game, there should be an option to reset the game and play again. We're going to complete the reset game function that accomplishes the following. It resets the player and computer scores to 0, updates the player score span element and computer score span element to display the new scores. It hides the reset game button, shows the options container so that the player can play again, and sets the round result message and winner message element to empty strings. And once we apply these changes, we will have completed the paper, rock, scissors game. Awesome. So yeah, let's start off with the player and the computer scores. So let's grab those, player score, and let's also grab this one. Let's drop it off here. All right. No, not like that. Okay, let's get this. Hold down Alt, this also, copy it, drop it off, move this one over. We're going to call both of these 0, and this one 0, and cap them both off with semicolons. Then we'll do the next thing, which is player score element and computer score span element. Okay, so player score element, this one, copy, drop it, tab it, click, alt click, dot inner text, now equals, and then we'll both have the string 0 and capped off with semicolons. All right. So now what we're going to do is hide the reset game button and then show the options container. Okay. So we'll do this. We'll just grab these two and we'll just flip flop them. All right. So we'll grab these two, drop them here, bring them back in line, and change this one to none. And this one will be block. All right. And now we're going to do round result message and winner message element to empty strings. So we'll get round result message. All right. Hold on Alt, get this one, copy, droppy, and then we'll tab it over, hold down, we'll click this one, hold down Alt, click this one, dot inner text, now equals an empty string, and cap it off with a semicolon. That should take care of business. Check the code. Looks good. Ha! And submit it. All right. And that's the end of that. Review domination. We're done with review DOM manipulation by building a rock, paper, scissors game. All right. So, like I said in the live stream earlier, tomorrow, I guess I'll probably re-record. Which one were we just doing? This one again, because of how badly I messed up on whichever one it was. And then we'll do spreadsheet. No, we'll do statistics calculator as well. We'll do 2 parts of this. And that's it. Oh, guys, hey, I didn't even see you guys were talking. Okay. I hope, Lilette, I hope you just saw what happened. Oh, and you guys, both of you guys, Gumskull and Magnus, you know what that means. It's about 7:28. It's almost time to be League of Legends. Anyway, so that being said, I'm gonna take a break until like 8 o'clock, and then so there's that, and we'll see you next time.